Hey Switchheads, how's it going? And I hope you're all well. Today I've got my Maximus 2 review and hopefully you'll enjoy it enough to hit them like and subscribe buttons for future content. Let's get going, shall we? Story. This one's one of them, someone's been kidnapped and it's up to you and your crew to get them back. Interestingly enough though, it's done all in a single continuous shot, as in the game just keeps going with kind of animated transitions between levels that, while not exactly seamless, they still kind of work. For the price, you're actually getting quite a lot of game here, and okay, it's a short, probably 2-hour game, but this is also extended by a lot of extra things given to you. From the start, picking your character, each with their own roles, healing, mage, fighter, all with their own weapons and skills. This works nicely and best in multiplayer, online and local, where you can help each other out, healing the team, sponging up damage, long range DPS, and even reviving the fallen. If upgrading your character is of utmost importance to you, Maximus 2 has you covered by opening your backpack and selecting inventory, to which you can swap and change weapons, armor, jewelry to put up your stats. Then there's the points earned for gaining levels, as well as adding abilities used in game. You can also put your stats up, like health and magic, depending on what character you're using, of course. Then there's your magic book, or obviously different depending on your character. Here, eventually, you get to pick which talents you want to use that improve on what you already have. As you can see by now, it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. But apart from being a port from mobile, and don't let that put you off, it does feel a lot of love has gone into M2. So many little details harking back to the golden age of gaming. Not only does it have humour, but you can ride creatures, use them to fight and take down enemies. And even these have their little nuances. For instance, the owl, once knocked off, a little doggy bowl appears underneath it and it starts chowing down on food while it waits to be sucked into the battle again. As well as this, there's plenty of monsters and variations and creatures to fight. A lot of changes before seeing the repeated creatures you normally get in other games. This did give the game a freshness to it. It may not be as technologically great as games I've played in the past, but M2 tries to entertain as much as it can, and I think that it tries to entertain is vitally important. The shop, while nothing amazing, it gives collecting coins a purpose, and there's some nice little touches like a little sort of mini fight after resting to gain more health for the rest of the journey, and it kind of winked at another golden age game I played in the past. And even the set pieces can be spectacular, and even more so after you find out what you've been walking on all along in some of these levels. As I mentioned before, the enemies came in different shapes and some drop weapons, and you can even pick up objects to throw at them. You can hit them when they're down, and it all just seems so much for the price asked. You even get NPC helpers that do help if you can keep them alive, even more so for the bosses. And them bosses, again, not the best I've ever seen, but effort is put into them with a little bit of thought to be taken to defeat each. I think now would be the perfect time to mention any negatives, and there are some, although I'm not sure whether this would be classed as a negative or not. The continue system, while I'm glad it's there, and you can start either from the start of the level, or pay coins and come back where you lay. This kinda makes the game a little easier. I had plenty of coins all the time and never was a problem. I will say there is a harder level setting, and maybe I'll try this in a let's play one night. And I think even on normal I was still actually having fun, so it wasn't so much of a problem for me, but maybe for others. My other problems consisted of having to make sure I was in the right place to pick up stuff, or I just wouldn't do it. This can consist on taking lots of damage. The same from time to time with the targeting, felt a little bit out. It's not the longest game, but I feel the price reflects, and that does have a nice amount of replay value to it. Visuals and sound. Visuals, as you can see, are very cartoony, nice with plenty of variation within pretty well a lot of different aspects within the game. Sound, again, this was nice music that fit the setting and had an arousing appeal to it. It also had speech here and there, unfortunately not in English though. The score. In short, M2 has a lot of heart, and it feels like it's been made by fans of old school gaming. It's not the best game I've played and won't be called a AAA experience anytime soon, but what it does have is plenty of gameplay, loads to do and see, and a price tag that reflects its giving nature. Plenty of replayability with other characters, and its multiplayer run through, all adding to my 7 out of 10. It's a great offering to those of fans, and if you like their other games, you will love this one. And with that, I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, feel free to leave a comment down below on your thoughts on M2. Also hit that like and subscribe button, that would really seriously help the channel out immensely and also get you more content in the future. Take care of yourselves out there, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, because life is better when we switch together.